So my dear ones, we just started talking about different levels of education during the medieval period, the system of education, just like during the Vedic period. There was some system. During the Vedic period, it was Gurukula system, and during the Buddhist period, it was the Sangha Vihara system. Then during the medieval period or during the Islamic period in India, there were two types of institutions, Makthab and madrassa. The Arabic students may be knowing the meaning of the words Makthab and madrassa. In Arabic, there is a particular way, there is a particular method for having different types of words. Kataba means wrote, then or to write, kitabat. Then maktab means the place where writing is done. Maktab is also used for office, and here it is a place where reading and writing are being taught. So it is the primary educational institution. And madrasa is a word derived from the word darasa. Darasa means to study. I'm sorry, I just typed there kataba again, kataba. Actually, I should have written darasa. Darasa means studied. And madrasa is a word from darasa. Madrasa means the place where study happens. So Makthab is the primary educational institution, while madrasa was the higher educational institution during the medieval period. So we can look at so madrasa was something like the college education during the medieval period. So don't mistake it. Okay, we have got some madrasas in our Kerala, and in our Kerala, madrasa is something where we are giving some Islamic education, religious education. But madrasa during medieval period was not any religious educational institution. It was the educational institution where they were giving higher education. Yes, right? Yes?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Then we can just look at Makthab. We thought that Makthab was the primary educational institution, and they were teaching reading and writing in Maktabs. And similarly, recitation of Holy Quran. 1 minute. Sorry, I'm sorry. So it was the primary educational institution during the medieval period. So reading and writing were being taught there. Then recitation of Holy Quran and religious prayers also were taught there for Muslims. Then Hindus learned Persian language, then basic arithmetic, mode of conversation, etc. there in the primary educational institution. So there were different sections for Muslims. They were teaching recitation of Holy Quran, then some religious prayers. As you know, Muslims have to perform 5 times prayers, and there are different prayers for each prayer, and different prayers are there for different times. So they had to learn all these things. So in Maktab, they were teaching reading and writing, then recitation of Holy Quran, then religious prayers. And Hindus also were being given education. And see, some people tell that during those times, Hindus were not given education. But from some sources, I saw this one, Hindus also were given education, and they learned Persian language, then basic arithmetic, then mode of conversation. That means communication. Then Madrasa was the higher educational institution. There were two types of education, religious education and secular education. As a part of religious education, they were given some explanation of Holy Quran. In Maktabs, they were being taught only recitation of Quran. But in Madrasa, they got something more. They were learning Quran in a detailed manner. Then they were learning Holy Hadith. Holy Hadith are the words, the deeds, the lifestyle, and such things of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The words of Prophet, the deeds of prophets, the teachings of prophets, and these are known as Holy Hadith. Then Tafsir. Tafsir is the interpretation of Holy Quran. Some people have written some interpretations, some detailed interpretations about different verses of Holy Quran, and this is known as Tafsir. And Tafsir also was there. Then Islamic law, you might have heard Shariat. Shariat is the law for a civic law. Actually, it is not a criminal law, but the civic law. That is Shariat. And Islamic law also was being taught in madrasa as a part of religious education. And as a part of secular education, Arabic and Persian grammar were taught. Persian means actually Urdu came from Persia, Persian language, and they were teaching Persian language and Arabic as a part of secular education. Then literature, different types of literature. They were teaching Persian literature, then Arabic literature, then literature in Urdu, and then Indian literature and such things. Then logic, philosophy, law, arithmetic, medicine, agriculture, and so also were included in the curriculum of higher educational system called madrasa. So this is a picture of educational institutions during the Islamic period. Then Bismillah ceremony. Can you guess? Can you guess Bismillah ceremony? What was it? Can you tell? Yes, you have seen some ceremony in Vedic period and Buddhist period. And what is this one? Bismillah. Can anyone guess?
Beginning of education.
Yes, starting of education or beginning of education. The word Bismillah means in the name of God. In Islam, whatever thing you start, you have to tell or you have to recite Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim or Bismillah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim means in the name of God, the most munificent and merciful. So Bismillah means in the name of God. If you tell Bismillah before studying, then it means that I start in the name of God. So it was the initial ceremony for starting education of a child during medieval period in India. And when a child becomes 4 years, 4 months, and 4 days old, he would be brought before the Ustad, Mullah, or the Muslim priest after taking bath and wearing new clothes. And he would come before the Ustad, Mullah, and recite Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. The teacher, the Guru, the Ustad, the Mullah will recite first Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Then the child will recite, following the recitation of the Guru, the teacher, the Mullah, or the Ustad. And this ceremony is known as Bismillah ceremony. Just like in the case of Vedic education and Buddhist education. Yes, got it? This is Bismillah ceremony, and it occurred when the child became 4 years, 4 months, and 4 days old. And still it occurs in some parts of our country and in the world. Okay, so this is Bismillah ceremony. Then educational, the methods, teaching methods of teaching during the Islamic period. Just like in the case of Buddhist education and Vedic education, they also were giving more importance to oral methods. And if you look at Makthab, you can see memorizing. I have told you that in Makthab, they were teaching recitation of Quran and prayers. So the Ustad will be reciting first, then the students will start memorizing the verses from Quran and the prayers. Then in Makthab, writing also was being taught. Then in madrassa, they were using lecture method, then self-study and discussion. In the higher educational institutions, sometimes the Ustad will come and make a lecture there, explain each and everything from Holy Quran, then explain each and everything from Holy Hadith, then explain the interpretations of different verses from Holy Quran. Then students were permitted to indulge in self-study, just like during the Vedic period and Buddhist period. Then discussion also was a method there during the Islamic period. I don't want to explain because we explained all these things when we were talking about Vedic education and Buddhist education. I have told you that though there are some differences, all these educational systems are considered as some traditional educational institution. And sometimes you may see some modern aspects in the case of Islamic education. Then teacher-student relationship during the medieval period. Again, teacher enjoy high status and honored position among the students as well as the society. Just as in the Vedic age and Buddhist age. And again, respect given to the teacher was considered something important during the Islamic period too. There is a quotation from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Tata'addabu qabla an tata'allamu." You have to get adab. Adab means respect towards the teacher. So you have to get adab before you getting knowledge. That is the meaning of these words from Prophet. So it is considered this respect towards teacher, that Gurutva, it was being considered more important than knowledge. It had been so during Vedic period and Buddhist period. And it is also said that severe punishments were given to the students for their faults and mistakes. So severe punishments were given to the students because discipline, self-discipline was something important in the case of education during the Islamic period. So whenever students committed some mistakes, the teachers used to give severe punishments. I think it is a fact because even when you see some North Indian people, I have seen North Indian people always beat their children, which we cannot see in our state. They will be beating their children with, sometimes we would feel that they haven't got any sort of humanity towards their children. Because when they get angry with their children, they will be punishing in such a severe manner. And it was there during the Islamic period. The children were being punished in a severe manner. So again, the teacher got the prominence. The teacher got some higher status during the Islamic period also. And this is something about Islamic education. And I may give you some explanation in your mother tongue.